Hello, and welcome to the Melkins Family Newsletter for 2018, January 7th. I did it totally European. January 7th, 2018. And this is how we welcomed in the new year. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that direct from her lips to Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, how you feeling, by the way?
Better than I did last week. It just lingers on.
It's like the song, You Had to Let It Linger.
No, not like the song at all. You're a hot mess.
Sorry, my throat was killing me for a minute there. All right. Well, hello, everybody. We are recovering from a very strange week that we had.
Weird.
It was weird. So we'll do what we normally do. We'll go in order, but we'll hit the highlights, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So we
weren't very exciting on the new year.
No, but we had plans for New Year's Eve to go. We were going to go to a party, but then you were sick. No. So we knew that we had said we're going to bow out. Yeah, we were going to go over to
but that was
the Clarks.
Oh, that was that night. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
It's been a strange week.
Told you.
Being sick for a long time.
We had bowed out, but then they ended up rescheduling it anyway to this coming Friday.
Right.
Which we still have to decide.
Everybody else has been sick, so
yeah. Well, their little girl
canceled.
was sick. Yeah, Sierra was sick.
So instead, we ordered Chinese food and we binge watched television. It was very exciting.
We pretty much did.
Rory's trying to get up.
And then we did ring in the new year by watching Did you stay up? I can't remember.
I totally fell asleep 10 minutes before.
I ring in the new year by watching the Rockin' New Year's Eve, which really wasn't. They gave Mariah Carey a second chance to perform, and it was all right. Yeah. All right. Then we brought in. Then it was New Year's Day, and so Angela had been inside for about 3 to 4 days. She's like not loving this at all. Say hi, Rory. Look, you're famous. You're a famous Facebook kitty. She's like, no. What am I doing?
She's happy to be held.
Yeah.
So after being cooped up for 3 or 4 days, we said, should probably get some fresh air and sunshine and get out. And so I had some errands to run up at LL Bean. I had something I had to return, so we drove up in the freezing cold. So cold. But we drove up to LL Bean, stood in the major long return line, which surprisingly enough, they have it down to a science. LL Bean, you pay a lot of money for their stuff, but their products are good, and their customer service is really good. So it was totally worth it. We were in and out of that really long line in about 15 minutes. So after that, we went and we stopped at a deli and had lunch. And then on the way back, we went to our friend Ricky's house for she had put together some oils for me. Sorry, this cat's really crazy. She wanted up.
She wanted up. Now she doesn't.
She's really sweet. She sells doTERRA oils, and she put together a bunch of stuff for me because she knew that I wasn't feeling well. And she actually made me this really cool neck warmer, face cover type thing.
But then she added a pocket.
She added a pocket right over the mouth, so it was like double layer, so that the air could be warmer, and you can also put stuff in the pocket, like those small hand warmers that you put inside mittens. You could put inside one of those to warm the air, or put some pads with some essential oils to help me breathe. So it was really sweet. She was very thoughtful, and it's just kind of cool that we've been able to reconnect with her. So,
which reminds me, we need to have her over for dinner soon. And then back to school, back to work on Tuesday.
Oh, that was
so it was a lot of catch up. I had been out pretty much straight from Christmas on, and Angela only worked one day that week, and then was out sick again. But she went to clear her throat.
Sorry,
it's all right. It's allowed. So Wednesday we were back at work as well, but Mom moved down. So Mom moved down from Louis Vuitton down here to Saco.
So she's just literally right around the corner.
Yeah. So hi, Mom. Welcome to Saco. Glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
So I spent some time over there bringing over her microwave and stuff.
Yep.
And then that was good because she timed it perfectly. It was the warmest day of the week.
It was, and that's not saying much.
It's not saying much, but it was the warmest day of the week. Her movers had her moved and done in like half an hour, unloading. And then Thursday hit, and we had
the bomb cyclone.
Or otherwise known as bombogenesis.
Yeah, it started snowing like first thing in the morning. It was like snowing in Portland by 7. I got up super early and went into work for 6 so that I could get a big chunk of time in at work and still get out early. And surprisingly, there was a lot to do at work, but there were so few people. So many people had called out or whatever. But they made a lot of arrangements for staff to have hotel rooms, access to hotel rooms. You have to book them, through the hospital. So a lot of staff had already brought bags and were planning to stay for a night, to work their entire shift Wednesday and Thursday. They stayed Wednesday night, and my brother included, which is good especially for critical staff, because, if every single doctor got sidetracked because of travel, we'd have a real problem. And babies are still born, cancer is still treated, and
heart attacks still happen.
Absolutely. And so we just don't ever close. But I worked until like 12:30.
Yeah.
And it didn't take me too bad. It wasn't too bad to get home because nobody was on the roads. Everybody had stayed home.
Yeah. And we had prepped the house. We had, all the cords run to the generators, like we have more than one, the generator, but we never lost power.
Praise Jesus. That was the biggest worry because the winds were really bad. And we didn't have any flooding. A lot of the coast down the street, from us and down at the beach, there were streets that were flooded, down in Wells and Kennebunkport. Lots of flooding, but we didn't have any of that. So we're just really grateful. So
we just had a lot of snow. We had 14 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, here. I know more inland they had probably 18, I think. Or
maybe. It was hard to tell because the wind was blowing so hard it drifted. So.
Well, it was. On the corner of our house where the wind whips the most, it's right over there, there was a big circle where there was no snow because the wind had just tornadoed it right out. And so.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
I hope Florida's warmer than here. I know you guys been hitting a cold snap, so. Anyway, we dug out Thursday and
dug out Friday.
Friday morning.
So Friday I was up early digging you. Oh, actually, funny story. So during the night of the storm, our landlord was around, and I think he was snow plowing his niece, which lives behind us here, and about like 11:30, I didn't wake up. Angel didn't wake up, but he got caught in the gully that is in front of our house. So we get up on Friday morning, and there is the whole front of our driveway had been plowed out already.
A big chunk. Yeah. A big chunk of the driveway. So that made it a lot easier for you guys.
Yeah. So it kind of made it easier, but he had dented in the side, so we couldn't really judge where the end of the driveway.
I know, you have to be really careful not to get in the gully. So I logged on to show that I was watching so I can see the comments, because otherwise we can't see the comments. I see you trying to distract us, Kelly. I get you. How's Doug? I hope Doug's feeling better.
Yeah.
I hope he's recovering well.
Yeah.
So what else did you do on Friday in the cold?
So that Friday afternoon, it was freezing, but Mom had bought a couch that she needed moved into her new apartment. So I recruited one of our former youth group kids that happens to live down the road, JP. Picked him up at school, actually. So, Kelly, you're watching. I hung out at your alma mater for about 10 minutes waiting for JP to get out of Thornton Academy. And we swung out, got a U-Haul van, went and got the couch, moved it in. It was crazy cold. And trying to get that couch in to her apartment was hilarious. But we got it in.
That couch will absolutely stay there forever. We'll add Wendy. I saw your comment, Kelly. We'll add Wendy to this for whatever reason we didn't add her to the group, but we will add her. Thank you for letting us know.
Sorry, slacker.
So then you stayed and helped Mom with some stuff in her apartment, and then they came back here for dinner. I'd made dinner. I was feeling well enough and feeling.
We went to pick up the stuff for TV for cable,
right,
and internet stuff.
And then, so then you guys came for dinner, and then after dinner, God bless Nathan, he was sucked into the Verizon vortex of hell,
which is hilarious because of all the times I've worked with Verizon on a phone issue or something like that, we've never had problems. It always just you go to the website, you put it to you set up an account, and it just works, right?
Right.
But it never. I did everything, was waiting. You have to wait like 15 minutes, and then it sends stuff to the phone, and you reboot the phone. Would not work. And turns out there was some kind of problem when we made the order. It didn't go through, and they could not figure out what had happened.
So you'd get on customer service and you'd explain everything, and then they'd be like, okay, I got to put you on hold.
And then I'm going to transfer you to somebody else who can help you. Well, then they would transfer me and not tell them, so I'd have to redo the whole story. And then they say, oh, well, now we have this problem. Now we have to get another department involved. So they would put me on hold, transfer me back to sales or something like that. And it happened, 8 times? Literally.
I don't know. There was yelling involved.
Well, only a little yelling.
Yeah, yelling of like, no, you're not putting me on hold.
I didn't want him to put me on hold again.
Not again.
No. I'm like, no.
And he was literally on the phone for 2.5 hours. Yeah. It was, and Mom and I just did nothing because we didn't know if Mom would be needed. And so, so that was exhausting for Nathan.
But it wasn't. It is what it is. And the thing is I knew as soon as somebody figured it out, it was just going to work. And that's exactly what happened. Later that night, the phone just started working. Somebody figured it out. And then we ported over her number, so she's all set. So that was our Friday night. But Saturday I started out.
So random.
It was random. So Saturday, I had to go get blood work done.
Oh, that's right.
That started that. Then after that, so I'd been fasting, so I was cranky. No, not really.
While you did that, I went grocery shopping.
You went grocery shopping.
Which, by the way, the grocery store was like, this is the second time. Everyone goes, go to the Hannaford and Zacco. It's right near you. Our landlord gives me a hard time because I'll go to other stores. And 3 times I've gone there recently, I've not been able to get the food that I need because they either sold out of everything because it was a holiday, or there were no trucks because of weather. And so this is the second time that I've tried to buy a large amount of produce, and there was nothing. Not a single carrot in the entire facility that was not frozen or canned. There was like no broccoli, no lettuce, no onions, no potatoes.
No, I can't. Onions and potatoes, I can't. I mean, because you go there and there's mountains and mountains of these things, and all of a sudden there's none.
No, nothing.
Cracks
I was
me
like, are you kidding me? And they just said, they hadn't gotten a truck. Like there's no Hannaford brand cheese in the deli, which that's the one that everybody likes, right? Because it's cheap. So
it's so bad for you.
And it was so crazy. So I was like, man, my budget's going to be shot because I've had to improvise everything. But we did okay.
You came in like 10
I was just like, how am I going to make this week's meals without some of the produce? But so there was that.
And then there was a friend of ours.
JP's mom.
So JP just helped me on Friday. So I dropped JP off, and there is this huge mountain of snow in their driveway, and
they
it's
live
like
in town, so they have an apartment.
Yeah, they're in an apartment building, but they don't have any way to put the snow, so they put it all on one side of their driveway. The problem is we had so much snow, and it was so fluffy, and the wind was blowing that all the snow had blown back, and there's no place for
They don't really have a big driveway. Anyways, they share it with some people.
Yeah, they share it, but there's one spot where she really needs to be, and she couldn't get there. So I had spent part of the time I was on the phone on Friday with Verizon. I was texting some of my friends and some of our church people to see if somebody could go plow her out, and I couldn't find anybody. So I finally, Saturday morning, I still couldn't get anybody. Everybody was either busy or not able to do it. So I put the snowblower in
my old car,
old Chevy Equinox, and drive over and snowblowed them out.
Oh, and it was so cold yesterday.
It was so cold. And then came back for lunch, and then back over to Mom's to set up her internet.
Yes, and while you're at Mom's, I went to the clinic yesterday because I just kind of had hit a wall and wasn't really getting any better. And with asthma, you can't really, you can't wait it out too long because then it can turn the corner to pneumonia. And so I went back. Yeah. I waited in the waiting room for an hour. I got into the room and waited for the doctor for another hour. Like everybody in town was sick. But fortunately I got to see the same doctor that I did the first time I went to the clinic. She's like, okay, yeah, you definitely, you're sounding better, you look better, but you need something to get over. And so she gave me prednisone, which we all love and hate in this house because it really does do the trick. But you love it because it makes me better. But
it does. I do like it because you do get better very quickly. But boy,
it can be brutal. And I can gain so much weight when I'm on it because all I want to do is strap on the feed bag because it makes me so hungry. It makes you crazy, really, is what it does. It keeps you up all night.
It's
and then it makes you hungry. It really.
It's a good excuse to go to Krispy Kreme, though, right?
No, not really. But then I get a lot of energy, and like I got so much stuff done while you were at second service today for church. I was like, I had lunch done. I have all my breakfast for next week done. All the dishes are done. I'm just like, woo, right zone.
She was researching cancer.
No.
Molecular, and I don't know.
No, but I'm grateful. I went to the clinic because like even last night I started to feel better. So.
Well, you already sound better today. That's for sure.
Thank you. I scared.
You always look good, but
I scare people at church with my crazy cough. But it's just like I'm like it's all right. I'm breathing. It's good. So. And my mom went to church with us this morning.
Yeah, Mom went to church with us.
So we picked her up and went to first service. And
look who else joined.
Hey, Jen.
Genevieve Foss. Hola.
So we're just chilling out right now. I think we're going to go out to a movie because I've been cooped up.
Don't not think we are. I've already bought the tickets.
We are going out to movies in a little bit.
I think
we're going to go see Pitch Perfect 3. So
the pitch is back.
Yeah, I really wanted to see the Tonya Harding movie because I don't know. I'm just kind of into
Angela's obsessed with angry girls. I don't know what it is.
I like true stories. So anything that's like based on a true story.
Yeah. So yesterday, if you hadn't seen it yet, we DVR'd the what was it called? It was called.
It's a special on 2020 about the 25th anniversary of the Waco.
Yeah.
Siege.
It was good.
Siege. That's what they kept on calling it. So so I was in high school when that happened, and so remembered it really differently. I mean, I remember when the fire happened, but I forgot how long it was leading up to it. But I remember exactly where I was when that fire started.
51 days. 51 days. I didn't realize that.
Anyways, it was pretty interesting. That was our wild Saturday night.
Yeah, wild and crazy. So we're gonna head out here in a little bit to see Pitch Perfect, but we wanted to get our video in because Lord knows what we're gonna do after that.
I know. Oh, hey, and what about your dad?
Oh yeah, hey. Well, I'm sure he's gonna love me sharing this with everybody. But if you guys can be praying for my dad, on that was Friday night, right?
Late Friday
night, I got a message from my mom, which we use this app called Marco Polo. So if you're a Marco Polo user, I love Marco Polo. So you can Marco Polo me anytime.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Clean. But I use that with my mom because it's a lot easier for mom. And rather than mom trying to text message me something, it's easier for her just to record herself doing it. So it works beautifully. The problem is she can also show things. And so I'm watching her video she sent me last night thinking, gosh, it's kind of odd that she sent me something at like 11:30 at night. Well, it turns out my dad had a sore on his ankle. And then she flips the camera around to show the sore. And Angel's like, I jumped. It was disgusting. Yeah. It turns out my dad has a diabetic ulcer on his foot. These not very common, but they can happen to people with diabetes, and it's a very serious problem.
Issues with his feet because he's got neuropathy, so he could have something brewing and not know it and not feel it because he's got no feeling in his feet. So it's really tricky. Yeah,
he's had issues. He's had wounds on his bottom of his feet before, but that was from an actual cut. This was probably more from, they think, he had new sneakers. He bought sneakers that he loves that are super comfortable, but the friction of where they were rubbing caused the ulcer. So, and it's very bad. It's not a good situation at all. So he calls tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see a wound specialist tomorrow to start I won't describe any of it on the video. How about we just say it's a healing process. It's a good thing he can't feel his feet. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's been our week. I hope everybody had a good week.
On that note,
it's been a very random week.
It has been.
Hopefully this week will be a little bit more calm.
I doubt it, but it's all right. It's all good.
New norm.
Yeah, but we love you all, and we'll post pictures and say, oh, hey, I meant to point this out last time. We've added a new feature to our website. So if you go to themelkins.com, it's called Our Journal, and it's just snapshots that we every once in a while post up. They're just a little bit more. I do them. I'm doing them now. Angela's not doing them yet, but we both have access to add these snapshots onto the website. So if you see the Our Journal area, you're welcome to take a look.
She was climbing up your back. Sorry.
Yeah, she was. I felt it. Say bye. She's like, everybody on here's like, we're tired of seeing your cats.
Yeah. Probably tired of seeing us.
All righty. We love you all.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.